Hello everybody. In this next part of the painting of the patisserie, I'm going to paint the rest of the exterior of this little shop front, and I'm starting on the top with some paint gray. Let me change the angle. I'm leaving here some light like this, and now moving on to the upper part of the gutter, and I'm using for this paint gray, but also some cobalt blue, just mix them right here on the paper. Like this, and I'm going to the drain pipe, leaving a little white stripe in the middle. First of all, these things, and then I'm moving forward to the pipe, also leaving a small white stripe. If you don't succeed, if your hands are not steady enough, you can add a white stripe with a white jelly roll when the paint has dried. So in the part where the shading is, I just add a few drops of more saturated paint gray, and then I'll go on to the lower part, also some drops of paint gray. Just give the knobs a touch of gray. Okay, this is also some metallic pipe. That's my computer. So I'll paint this little box, give it one color and let it dry, and then add shading. Okay, I'll give those metal handles here a mix of ochre and paint gray. Let me see. This handle also. Okay, and then the lower part has a black rim here, and I'll take a larger brush, keep the small one in the vicinity, and just paint this a darker blackish, going around the bush across. So I'm now painting this rim below, but the door is sticking out a little bit, so it has some shadow, and I can add it already here. And then taking my smaller brush and go along the lines of the little grass. Maybe adding some more paints, gray here, and I think a dark line just below like this. So now I'm moving on again to the with the gutter, and I give it a like a smudgy ochre, well, what is it, ochre brownish color, like this, and the same color I'll be using for this part and this part here. Okay, then I'll go on to the window sills, and this is a mix of yellow ochre and paints gray. Again, imitating the stone color. And again, I'm giving it one color and adding a darker shade, a darker layer when the first layer has dried. So now we'll wait until this is dried. So the first layer has dried, and I'm going to add a light line just below the lighter line. So when you see the illustration, you notice that there are lines here on the windowsills, and like here, they're always two parts. And now I'm painting the lower part of that drawing. So you have a light line and a dark line. Here also, can you see? Also, the light part will be on top, and the low part will have another layer of dark color. Also here. And I'll make this one darker too, and and here also. And we're not finished with the shading part, because when the illustration is completely ready, I will add another shading just below everything, but that's in a later phase. Look, this is also ready and dried, so I can add here dark parts too. Okay, now we're moving on to the wooden panels. I'm using 3 colors for the wood, and that's the burnt sienna, some yellow ochre. This is a bit dirty, so I'll clean it a little bit. Okay, and some dark brown, moss brown. So I make a puddle of those 3 colors. Okay. Let's move this aside. I'll take an illustration. The wooden panels are situated here and here. The one with the butterfly is a bit tricky, but I'll try. I'll zoom in again. So what you do when you paint wood is you make stripes from top to bottom. So I'll start here. They don't have to be even, because wood is a natural product, so they can be wobbly. I'll start with the burnt sienna. Just push your brush when you're making a stripe, so it will get, the line will get thicker. Now I'll dip it in the yellow ochre and go over the white lines. The paint mustn't be too wet, because otherwise the lines will mix and you don't see any lines anymore, so you don't have to work very quickly. So you can see lines, and now I'm going to add the darker Mars brown or Earth of Cyprus, and just make a few lines like this. Just to make it look more like wood. Okay, next one, rinse off my brush and start over again with the burnt sienna. Push a bit and the line will get thicker. Like this. Then the yellow ochre. Oh, this is too much. This was a blob. Can you see? This is too much, so I'll go in with the yellow ochre and paint between the lines. I think this is again burnt sienna, because this line wasn't harsh enough. So now I'm going back to the yellow ochre. Last line with the yellow ochre. Okay, then I move on to the dark brown. Maybe go upwards. Like this. Okay. So the first panel is has dried, and I will paint the line around the wooden panel with the burnt sienna. And when this is dried, I can add shading again. So I decided to paint the pots of the plants just pure black. Well, not pure black, because I'm always using paint gray. But I'm not giving it any color, any bright colors, because the plants are already in it and they have color, and well, I don't want to distract. Just give them a plain dark blue, dark gray color. And one layer is sufficient. Okay, the lanterns inside can also get some paint. Can you see that I'm leaving a little white spot also here, just imitating the reflection? So now we move on to the letters. I'll give the letters some pinkish color mixed with some burnt sienna. The upper part of the letter will be burnt sienna and the lower part will be pink. So I'll start with P. Oh, sorry. So I'll start with the P. And the A. And just paint the upper part of the letter until the middle. And now I'll take a rinse of my brush and put in a little bit of red. Can you see I made a little mistake, but I won't touch it. I will go over it with the white jelly roll in a later phase. When I touch it now, it will only become a bigger blob. So this is a nice effect when you want to paint lettering on signs, just give the upper part another color than the lower part. Sorry. Again, also these letters will get a shading, but that will be in a later phase. So the next thing we'll do is the plants. I will use for the leaves sap green, lemony yellow, and some forest green for the darker parts. Start with the lemony yellow and try not to paint the flowers, so only the upper parts of the bushes here, like this. Then I'll go on with the sap green, like this, go around the flower, and then I'll go on with the forest green, the darker green, and with that, and when you paint quickly, the paints will mix on the paper and you get a nice gradient, and otherwise you can add more water and finish the gradients like that. Okay, and then we'll head on to the next plants. Okay, start with the lemony yellow. Not too much paint on your brush. And don't forget to go around the flowers. Then I'll start with the sap green. And finish off with the forest green. So only 3 flowers in this arrangement. When the greens are dried, I'll give the flowers a nice vibrant color. But first let them dry. I'll give the flowers a bright red color. Mixed with some orange. And I think this is too harsh, so I'll just go over it with some paper towel and just put a little bit of red in the heart. That's better. Now this part also red. Again, go over it with a paper towel and then add a little bit more red in the middle, in the center of the flower. Like this. Okay. Well, I think we'll finish with this part now. Let me see. yes, I think we're finished with the exterior, and next in the next part of our paint along we're going to start with all the details. Have fun coloring. Bye bye.